Hello and welcome to my page, Krista's So Crafty. My name is Krista and today we're going to be making some little pictures, some Halloween pictures. So we're going to make a cute little owl, a cute little kitty, and a happy Halloween sign. So please feel free, join me, grab some supplies, and come and make some little signs with me today. Okay, so here we are over in Design Space, and I'm going to go into Images, and I'm going to type in Halloween like I've done here, and just press Enter on my keyboard. Then all I'm going to do is just scroll through all the different pictures and see if we can find. Now I need 3 different pictures, so let's see what we can find. I like that one, the Happy Halloween. And how about, this is always the hardest part for me, is trying to pick out something. There's just so many different images and different things that you can choose here. So, oh, that's cute, that owl. Let's get him. And what else? One more thing. If you look down in the bottom right hand corner here by the cancel and the insert image buttons, you'll see that the 2 images that I've selected, it's showing 2 little, little clip art little thingies there. So you can always see how many you have and which ones in case you forget. So we'll just keep looking through here. Let's see if we can find another one. I thought I saw a cat in here. Ah, this kitty. He's going to be a pain in the butt to weed, but I think he'll be cute. So I think we'll go with those 3. So I'm just going to click on Insert Images, and those images will come in, and they all come in grouped together. So just click outside of that little box, and then you can rearrange your little pieces here. The next thing we need to do is to grab a shape. I'm going to grab a square, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a template of the piece of glass that we're going to put these images on. So my piece of glass that I'm using is 3.5 by 5. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to click on the little unlock, and I'm going to go, width will be the 5, and I'm going to go tab, and I'm going to type in 3. So that is the size of the piece of glass that I'll be using. And I'm just going to go and change it to a white. Just makes it a little easier for me to see, especially with all this black. I'm going to make this screen a little bit bigger just so we can see what it is we're doing here. There we go. Move these up a bit. Alright, so I'm going to right click and I'm going to send to back. Now I'm just going to take the image here of the owl and I'm going to resize it by using the little double-headed arrow here. And I'm just going to resize it, and I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to put some words on here or if I just want the picture. It's pretty cute just like that. You know what, I think I'm just going to leave it like that. So right now I have the little owl about 4.384 by 2.259. I think I'm going to make that just a little bit bigger. Now the other thing I need to remember is that there is a, on the frame itself, that it's going to come in a bit, so I can't go too close to the edge. So I can go a little bit bigger maybe. Just like that, I think. Alright, so that's the size for that. Now this kitty, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to rotate it so it's up and down. And I'm going to make the kitty, oh, how did that come undone here? Hold on. We want to make sure that this lock is on, because otherwise when we use the resize it, it's going to be out of proportion. I don't know if this is going to work or not. Maybe we will try it like this. Yeah, see, that's, I don't think we can use that one. So let's go choose a different one. Let's type in black cat. and press enter. And we'll see if we can pick a different one here. Oh, that one's cute. That one's nice. I like that one. So now we can turn this back around. That's a nice thing when you're designing your own projects, is you can do it however you want. So there, I think that's cute. Okay, so we'll put that over here and we'll rotate this back this way. And we'll put this Happy Halloween in here. Okay, so now that everything is selected, I'm going to leave the colors as they are. I think I will leave this, and for the backgrounds, I'm going to cut some cardstock, and so 2 of these will have a white background and 2 of these will have a yellow background. So I think I'm going to make the owl with the white background, and the kitty and the Happy Halloween, I'll use the yellow background paper. I think that'll look good, and then I'll just cut out in black. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to have 3 of these to cut out for our little frames. So I'm just going to move these out of the way, and I'm going to click on this one, and I'm going to go up here to the top right and click on duplicate twice. So now we have 3 of these little rectangles, which we're going to cut out from our cardstock. And like I said, we'll put the cat and the Happy Halloween on the yellows and the owl on the white. All right, I think we are ready to go. I'm actually going to go ahead and save this. I want to make sure to save this in case I want to recreate this. Who knows, right? I've created some collections, and one of them is called Holidays. On the front of the title, I always put whether it's Christmas, Halloween, Easter, whatever. This one I'm going to put Halloween, and I'm just going to put a hyphen, move the mouse out of the way, and just type in small picture frame. That way I'll have it, if I want to do it again, it's there. So I'm going to go to collections and I'm going to click on holidays. You'll see that it's going to be saved into that collection, and now I'll just click save. Project has been saved, we're good to go. I'd like to do that just in case, because you never know if you get into the cutting process and you have a power failure or something, and then all the work that you've done to this point is gone. So save it. If you don't ever use it again, it's not really a big deal. I'm going to go over here and click on Make It. And this will bring up our different mats. Now, I don't want these eyes to be on the same mat with the cardstock. So I'm going to left click on the eyeball, and I'm going to click on the 3 little dots up here, and I'm going to move object. I'm going to create a new one, and I'll just make it blue just for whatever, and move the eyes over. So I'm going to go back to the white mat, click on the other eye, move the object to this blue mat, and say confirm. So now I've got all my objects on different mats. So now if we, sorry if I move my camera over here so you can see everything. If we go down the left hand side, you'll see that there's a mat for everything. So we have our mat for our cardstock, and I'm just going to put some space in between them. We have our gray pieces for our eye, for the owl. We have our black pieces for the cat and the Happy Halloween, which are individual by themselves. And then we have a gray, which is part of the owl. And we have a black again. So I'm just going to move these over a little bit just so that there's, again, some more space. Those are for the owl. And we have orange for the owl. And his little beak, we do not want that to get lost. It's so tiny. I'm just going to actually tuck it in here beside his head and above his wing. So that's that. And then we have purple. So I've gone through all of my scrapped permanent vinyl, and I only have one color of purple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one here that's showing as a light purple, and I'm actually going to do that, cut that out in a pink. So I have that. Again, I'm just going to move that over a little bit. We have our dark purple, which will be on the purple, and then we have the eyeballs, and those will be cut out on white. I'm going to click continue, and I'm just going to choose vinyl, and we're now ready to cut. Okay, so now I've got all my vinyl all ready to go. I just dug through my permanent vinyl scrap bin, and I found vinyl for all of these projects. And I have some scrap cardstock here that we're going to use to cut out the back piece for the picture frames. So let's get going. Today I'm going to be using my strong grip mat. You could use a regular mat or a light grip mat. It's just my light grip mat is not as sticky and the cardstock won't stick to it. So we are going to cut out 2 yellow pieces of cardstock for our picture frames. So I've got 2 pieces of cardstock here, and I'm just putting one on either side. Now I did go back into Cricut Design Space, into the where you prepare the mats and everything, and I did turn the pieces to go up and down rather than this way. And we have 1 piece for our white, so I'm going to put it down here. And we are ready to go. So now the only other thing we need to do is go back into the Cricut Design Space and change our base material to a light cardstock, the 65-pound one, rather than the vinyl. And then once we're done with cutting this, then we'll have to go in and change these to the vinyl. I have the arrow is flashing. I'm just going to press on that. And we're good to go. And we'll cut. Okay, our cardstock is done, so we'll remove the mat. And especially with the strong grip mat, you most definitely want to turn it over and peel the the mat away from the cardstock so that it doesn't get all curved and stuff, okay? So you want to hold your cardstock as flat as you can and roll your mat away from it. You might get some curve to it, but it's definitely going to be a lot less than if you don't do it that way. So I'm just going to roll this back, and now I'm just going to turn this around and do the same thing over here and take this off. And we're going to use the same mat for our vinyl. All right, so now we're ready to start cutting the vinyl. We need to go back into Design Space and change our base material to vinyl. So now I've done that, we're good to go. And I have all these, like I said, little scraps. I'm going to just start laying them in here and follow the mats on the Cricut access and cut them out. So I've got that one in, load my mat, and we'll cut it. And that one's done. I'm just going to continue on with the rest of the vinyl. Okay, so I've got all my vinyl all cut out. I've trimmed off all the excess vinyl so I can save that for future projects. I have my vinyl ready to go. All I'm going to do is turn it over, and I'm going to use a scraping tool, and I'm just going to push down on the back of the vinyl just to make sure that it's stuck to the backing paper. Then all I have to do is turn my vinyl over, get up to the corner, get a piece of it and pull it back at an angle, and just pull it, and it weaves just like that. So I'm going to continue on and do the rest of this vinyl, and then we'll move on to the next step. Alright, so here we have all of our pieces for our owl. There's a lot of pieces for him. So we are going to start, just going to scoot them out of the way. And there's my little nose. He's so tiny. So we're going to start with the orange piece as our base, and then we're going to build up from there. So I'm going to get a piece of transfer tape, just a little piece. I have a big roll over here, and I just keep this piece I've been cutting off, I've used before, and I'm just going to cut a little piece off of it, and that's what we're going to use. So here I have my transfer sheet. Just going to move these up a little bit out of the way. So there's our little owl. I'm going to take and put the transfer tape onto the gray on the owl. Excuse my arm. I'm going to scrape that down. And as always, I'm going to turn this over and peel the backing paper off. And there we have our little owl. Now, what I'm going to do, just to help me out here, is I'm going to take just a couple pieces of Scotch tape, and I'm going to tape this down. Whoops, it slid right off. Just going to tape this down to my work surface. Okay, well that piece of tape didn't work. There we go. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the gray of the owl, and I'm going to put it down on top of the orange, and I'm going to try to get it lined up as best I can so that orange doesn't show. Just like that. So I'm peeling off the transfer tape and leaving the owl on the backing paper because we need to put this one on now. Okay. So again, I'm going to use that same transfer tape. Push this down, get that vinyl to stick to the transfer tape. And then peel it right off. Whoops. And again, I'm going to line this up. Just like that. And again, we're going to take the transfer tape off and leave the vinyl on the backing paper. We're going to continue to, he's wanting to come off. Okay, so that's that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put this little piece on here, And it's going to go on like that. There's a lot of layers to this little guy. Okay, and take that off. You want to make sure that you put this hole on the bottom, because that's where this piece is going to go. So we're going to line this up. I hope you guys can see this. Line this up on the bottom and the top. So the top of its head and the bottom of its body. So that. And again, just peel that transfer tape up and off. So now that we're down to smaller pieces, I'm just going to take my scissors and cut this down a bit so that I don't have quite as much transfer tape getting in my way. All right, so remember, oops, there it is. I was going to say, remember how we had, this was supposed to be a different color purple and I didn't have two. So this is the pink that we're using instead. So I'm going to put his belly on. Tear that, not tear it off, but take that off. And we're going to get this laid down in here. Just like that. All right, so now I'm just going to set him to the side. Okay, so we're going to start with these 4 pieces, and I'm going to start by putting these silver ones onto here. So scrape on that. And we want these just like that. And again, I'm going to leave those on there, so I'm going to pull the transfer tape away. Okay, so that's that. And then we're going to put these guys on. And I think I'm going to put them on individually. So let's do one at a time here. Now these I want to line up. Now I think my eyes are going to be a little different. I think I did something a little different, but it's okay. That's what we're allowed. Okay, and then we'll do this one. Yeah, so it's not going to be exactly the same. I guess you could say I'm taking creative license here. Okay, and we need it to go like so. Oops. You gotta be careful that it doesn't go down and stick before you're ready. I think I'm gonna turn that. I don't know if it makes a difference or not. Actually, I think it does. There. So we'll do that. And again, we'll take the transfer tape off. There's a little tiny bubble there. Let's see if I can get that out. And now we will do these ones, and again, I'm going to do them separately. Like that. Now I want the little, see how there's a smaller space here than there is here? I want the smaller space on the inside. So we'll just go like this, and I'm sorry if my hands are in the way. Kind of difficult to see what I'm doing otherwise. So that's that. And we'll get this one going. And again, you want the smaller space towards the inside. And we're going to cover up that black completely. So like that. And there's our little eyes. They're kind of cute. So now we need to put them on the owl, and then we can put the nose on. So I'm going to go back to a little bigger piece again of transfer tape and press that onto the tape. Like that. And there's our eyeballs, and now we can put them on here, just like so. And again, we'll take the transfer tape off. Oh, he's so cute. And then his little nose. So on his nose, which is so tiny, I believe the longest part goes up in between his eyes there. So that's how I'm going to do it. And it just peeled right off. So we'll put this right in there. Man, that's tiny. Give that a rub down. And there we have it. There's our little owl. I think he's pretty cute. I like his little shimmer. That little silver I used. It's got some shimmer. I hope you guys can see that. Okay, so now that we have everything all weeded, we're ready to now start putting our vinyl onto our cardstock. So I'm going to start with the owl. I mean, it doesn't matter where you start, but I'm going to start with that. Because we're using cardstock as our base material, I don't want to use a transfer tape that's really sticky because it might rip the paper. So what I'm going to do is I have a piece of transfer tape that I've been using for quite a while. So it's sticky, absolutely, so it'll pull that up, the vinyl off of here, and we can put it on here, but I don't think it's going to pull any paper off of here. If you do need to use a new piece, just take it and put it on your shirt a few times and take it off. And it puts little fibers on there so it's not quite as sticky. So let's get started. So I'm going to put the transfer tape on here. Sorry about my arm there. And this time we are going to flip it over and push that vinyl into the transfer tape so that the vinyl now will stay on the tape. So here's my paper. Remember, we're going to put the kitty and the Happy Halloween on the yellow ones and the owl on the white one. So all I'm going to do is get this lined up here as best I can. And that looks good. And remember, you got to keep it away from the edges, right? So, because there's going to be that little black part of the frame. So I'm just going to press down on the vinyl, and I'm going to try not to press down on the transfer tape that's on the cardboard, or sorry, on the cardstock, so that when I pull this off, the vinyl will stay down, but the cardstock won't get ripped. There. Oh, that's so cute. All right, so let's do the cat on the yellow. And again, I'm going to use the same transfer tape. You could use your transfer tape over and over and over as many times as it'll stick. If it's still sticking, you can keep using it. Okay, so turn this over. Mine's getting ornery on me here. Okay, and now we'll pull away the backing. And here's our yellow for our cat. I think that's going to be cool because his eyes are now going to be yellow. So that's kind of fun. Okay, I need to go this way because it's curling up on me so much. I think we'll do it like that. Right about there. And again, I'm going to push down on the vinyl. Try not to push down on the transfer tape too much. That's on the cardstock. And then we'll remove the transfer tape, and we have our little kitty. And now the Happy Halloween. All right, scrape that down, turn it over, push it into the transfer tape, take the backing paper off, whoops, and if it starts to come up, just lay it back down again, give it another push. The tinier, the thinner your writing is, the thinner your design is, the harder, not harder, the more difficult it will be for it to stick. So I'm just gonna really push that down in there. Okay, we'll pull it up from this side and there. Whoops, on the E. And sometimes you have to work it from both sides. There we go. Of course, we got a piece of dog hair on there. And let's lay these down. Now, I could have put the vinyl right onto the glass, but this way I can change it out for the different seasons. So for Halloween, I will use these ones, and then maybe at Thanksgiving, I could make some different cardstock signs with some vinyl and display those. Or at Christmas, so I can change them up. And we'll just take that right off like so. So these are the little frames I found at the dollar store that I'm going to be using. They didn't have a cardboard on the back, just a picture. So all I'm going to do is open these up like so. Just push them up carefully. And I've already cleaned the glass, so you want to make sure your glass is nice and clean. And then take one of your designs and slip it in here like so. All right, so it appears that I made a mistake when I was cutting. I measured the glass from the frames. So again, these are the frames I'm using. I measured the glass and it is 3.5 inches by 5 inches. But when I cut my paper out, cardstock out, I cut it 5 inches by 3 inches. So what I'm going to do to fix it, because I'm not just going to throw these away, I think they're too cute and we're crafters, we'll make things work. So what I've done is I've cut another piece of cardstock of the white and I've taped it on using double-sided tape. And so now I have this little spot there that when you put this in, I don't like the way it looks. So there's just a little strip on the bottom, but I don't like the way it looks. So I'm going to add some ribbon to it. I'm going to use my little pick to help me get this out of here. Like that. So what I'm going to do is I purchased this package of ribbon. There's 18 pieces decorative ribbon for $4 at Dollarama. And there are, like I said, 18 pieces, and there's each one of these is 1 meter of ribbon. So I thought that was a pretty good deal, just for a variety of ribbons. So on the owl, I think I'm going to use this pink one here. I'm going to take it out and see. So here's the pink ribbon. I think that'd be cute if we just put a pink ribbon across the bottom. So again, I'm going to use my weeding tool just to get that off of there. And I'm going to cut a piece of ribbon the length of this, so 5 inches. And I'm just going to use my scissors, cut that off. And again, I'm going to use some of this double-sided tape. Again, I got it at the dollar store. It's the Crafter's Square double-sided tape. So I'm going to cut off a piece. Just big enough for that ribbon. Push it down. Now normally if I was using this ribbon anywhere else, I would take a lighter and kind of burn the ends, but it's going to be tucked in behind the frame, so I think it'll be fine. So now I'm trying to get the paper edge lifted up here. I'm going to use my tool again, maybe. Come on. Come on. Nope, still got the glue. Sometimes this paper is just a pain in the butt to get off. You wouldn't think that it would stick to it because it's got that slippery. There we go. And I'm just going to put this right along this bottom edge. Just even with the bottom. Just like so. Give it a little trim. And now we'll put this in our little frame, and this one will be done. So the nice thing about using the vinyl on the cardstock, well, see, that looks cute. Oops, it's way up there, I'm sorry. Is that if I want to change this out for Thanksgiving or Christmas or Easter, all I have to do is open the back, take these out, and insert the new one. So I could have a little file system with all the different holidays, and then we can just set this up against something. Yeah, and that'll be cute. So let's fix these other ones now too. I hate having to fix stuff out when we're crafting, but when you're crafting, you never know. Sometimes stuff is going to happen and you just don't know. I think I'm going to use the purple for these ones. I think that'll be cute. So I've gone ahead and I've cut 2 more pieces of cardstock. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some double-sided tape and I'm going to place it on the back of these along the longer edge, so the 5-inch side. Just like so. And then I'm going to use my weeding tool to help bring up the paper. Like that. Now with this one, because it's a cat, we need to make sure it's centered this way. Like so. And I've already put the tape on the Happy Halloween one, so I will take the paper off. My goodness, sometimes it's a pain in the butt to get that little paper off of there. There we go. And this one we'll put on this way. I think I'm going to go up a little higher on this one, and then I'll just put the purple along the bottom. There. And again, we want to cut a 5-inch piece of ribbon. It's going to go right along there. Oops. And we'll put some double-sided tape on that. And just rip that off. If you guys know an easier way to get this paper off the back of these, please let me know in the comments below. I think that is my biggest pet peeve about crafting, is that double-sided tape. So, just gonna make sure that this is here. There, that looks good. And here's our frame. We'll slide that in. And push the little tabs down. Now one of the little tabs fell out. I'm not too concerned about that. And there's our little Happy Halloween. That looks good. Let's do up our kitty now. And I think I'm gonna put a piece of purple on both sides, just to kind of frame them out a bit there. So we'll cut 2 5-inch pieces. Like so. And we'll do the double-sided tape. Okay, so now I'll put this little piece of glass back in here. I'm always scared. See, now I've got fingerprints all over it. So now I'll just take my rubbing alcohol and a little piece of paper towel. You can also use a coffee filter for a dust-free cleaning cloth. Turn that over, make sure I get, oh yeah, look at all my, I don't know if you can see all my finger marks all over it now. Turn that over and just get this corner. And I think that's good. So we'll put the glass into here, maybe. Little thing here is not quite bent out, I don't think. There we go. Okay, and now we'll put our little kitty in here and we'll see how that one looks. Okay. And we'll push these down to hold the paper in place. And there's our little kitty. I think that turns out good. Sometimes mistakes. Oh, look, I got a little piece of fuzz there. Sometimes when you make a mistake, sometimes they turn out in for the best. I think this one turned out even better than I thought it was going to. So I'm just going to see if I didn't burn that. So that little tiny piece of ribbon was fraying, and that's what we were saying. There, I think that's pretty cute. So hang on and I'll show them all to you. All right, here they are. I think they turned out super, super cute. Even though I messed up on my cutting, I think I was still able to salvage them and I think they turned out cute. And actually I like the ribbon on there. It kind of adds a little bit more to it. So again, you could do something like this for just under a couple dollars for each frame, and these are really cute. You could do them for Halloween, for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, for Easter, whatever holiday you wanted. Okay, so we've made it through the craft today, which is great, even with the little boo-boo I made and cutting my paper too small. But I think the little picture frames turned out really cute. Again, here's our little owl. And here's our Happy Halloween. And our little black cat, our kitty. So even though I made the mistake of cutting the cardstock too small, I would think I was able to salvage it with adding the ribbon on. Actually, I think with the ribbon, they turned out pretty cute. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to see more of the crafts that I do. And be sure to click the bell if you want to be notified of the upcoming videos. I'm trying to put one out every week. Sometimes it's a little harder, like during the summer, because we camp a lot, but now that it's September and we're moving into fall and winter, I'm hoping to be able to get at least one video out a week. So please feel free to come and join me and watch my videos, and if you what you see, please comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you and happy crafting.